Being gay was not easy for me as a kid because I grew up in a society and in a family ruled by this heteronormative where if you are born a boy, then you are supposed to like soccer and to like blue collar and to play in the dirt with other boys. And I never felt attracted to that. I always felt attracted to other stuff like dancing, for instance, or pretending to be a singer and then sing in front of a mirror, or playing with Barbie dolls, even with other girls, you know. And I remember my father telling me that that's not okay and that's not how boys are supposed to behave. And not only that, he told me so in a way that I understood that it was bad. So somehow I knew that I was different, and I also started believing that I was a bad kid. So I never had the chance to really express myself or to express what I liked because I was forbidden to. And again, you don't understand really why, but you just do it because you are told so. So it's very frustrating to grow up being someone you are not. So as a kid, I always knew it was different. But I never knew that I was gay because I didn't know that word, right? Luckily, as I grew older, when I was 15 more or less, I learned that concept. I understood what it was, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what I am, and it was perfectly fine. When as soon as I learned what was it, I was like, yeah, that's me. That's how I feel. And then I learned that there were some other guys feeling like me, so it was like, okay, I'm not the only one. It gets better, right? And I had never this struggle with myself or this battle of accepting being homosexual because it just felt right for me. I've heard some other friends that tell me that when they knew or they realized that they were gay, they kind of didn't accept it and they kind of rejected it. So they had this battle with themselves and then finally accept it. For me, it was perfectly fine since the very first moment I knew I was gay. When I was 21, I finished college and then I got a job at a different town, like 4 hours away from my hometown. So I moved out of my parents' house to a different city and I started living with other friends. And that's when I started really being myself. Sadly or not, yes, because I had to get away from my family to be myself. But it was worth it. I started living my life as I always wanted, without being pointed at or without being rejected. And I loved it. I start creating this fortress. I start really getting self-reliance and confidence with myself. I got the right friends. I later came out to my mother and to my sister, who were amazingly supportive, and that just made me stronger. My name is Jorge. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Mexico and I belong to Sewi team at Guadalajara. I'm not only proudly gay, but I'm also happily gay because I just love being who I am. I just love being myself, and I just love being surrounded by the people I'm surrounded by because that makes me a better person every day. This is me.